Hare Krishna, everyone. Jai Srila Prabhupada. Welcome to our little production that we have going on here. We are broadcasting from ISKCON Mayapur with special thanks to the studio for Mayapur TV. And we are speaking today about Mayapur Academy. Today we will get into Mayapur Academy, which is one of our foundational institutions here in Sridhar Mayapur. And we are joined with us by our special guests. We have here Ananda Leela Mataji. We have Hari Balabi Mataji. We have
trained pujaris worldwide, and it was a desire of Srila Prabhupada to his great Jananivas Prabhu to train up pujaris.
So this was, if I may, is this Jananivas Prabhu's like brainchild, so to speak?
It's actually following the syllabus and also how the courses are running and basically managing, and also I'm also teaching a few units.
That's wonderful. What do you teach? We'll get back around to it as we get to the team, but what do you teach?
We have different units. The whole course is divided, sectioned into different units. So I teach temple worship, festivals, and cooking. Yeah.
Now, if I understand correctly, that Mayapur Academy, as a Pujari worship institution, is separate from the university that they have as well, where they teach Bhakti Shastri and all that. That's
that's Mayapur Institute.
That's Mayapur Institute, okay.
Where they teach Bhakti courses.
Okay.
And ours is Mayapur Academy, where we are teaching, of course, Shastrical courses, but more on the devotional side, where we have...
Okay, so that's more philosophical, and then at Mayapur Academy you have more of a devotional skills.
Yes.
Okay, that's really cool. That's very interesting. Can you tell us a little bit about Mayapur Academy as an institute? Where is it? What are the students involved? What do I know? Where do I go if I wanted to know more about Mayapur Academy?
We are located in ISKCON Mayapur campus.
Okay.
On Chaitanya Bhavan, second floor. To get into more detailed. And we run different courses. We have a longer certain language courses, like in different medium, like Bangla and Hindi.
You do language courses as well?
Yeah.
Okay, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
You
The same thing.
Learn your Bengali, folks. If you're coming to Mayapur, learn some Bengali while you're at it. That's wonderful. And here we have our teachers who are also part of this. I feel that the course that I hear the most from all of my friends and people who have gone to my academy is the Deity worship course, especially the turban making. I wanted to bring in Kurma Chaitanya Prabhu here. How do you feel being the most popular teacher in the Mayapur Academy?
I didn't even know I was, so it's news to me.
I can imagine a lot of people I hear, that one of the things that they gun for, just a little bit.
Well, I can give you a bit of history.
Please.
The first time I was asked to teach, it was during the festival. We had like a 2-day course, and it was over where the next to the boys' ashram, there was a building there, a library building.
Yes.
So I think maybe maximum 8 or 9 people attended the class, so it's very, very... And we didn't really have any facilities whatsoever, so I helped model this clay head. We got an artist to do it. Now that's not like Krishna, and he's like 3 or 4 kilos, so very impractical. But made some turbans, and I pretended I knew what I was talking about, talking some theory which I knew nothing about at the time. And that was the end. Nobody practiced anything. It was just, show and tell, and not very satisfied. I felt quite dissatisfied. The next year, I did another one. This time I tried to, up the ante a little bit. And this was also, who was there? There was, Indra was there as well. So together, and I think you can find that on YouTube. So after the course, it was just a 1-day affair, and afterwards some devotees I know quite well approached me and said, you can do better than that.
It just became up and up and up.
So I was thinking, yeah, they're right. I can do it better. So after that, I really tried to bring the course up to the standard, and it still has a long way to go. There's still a lot more that we can do to improve. So as with anything that you do, you always try to improve it and make it better. So
What could you improve? I'm doing this seva for so many years, and of course they say that service to Krishna always improves and improves. But
yeah.
you've been so established as in your, you would say your art, but rather your seva. What do you feel is left to explore?
The turbans and the dressing, they go together.
They go hand in hand.
Yeah.
Okay.
They're not separate courses.
Okay.
Except during the festival time, where it's not a certified course. They're not going to get a piece of paper at the end of the course.
Oh, man.
But in the certified courses, they have to learn how to put the dresses on the deities as well as making the turbans, and then they are assessed that they can actually dress within a fixed amount of time.
Ooh, you don't want to see my deities, I'll get fails on all subjects. But I put them on with a lot of love and maybe a big flower to come. So my question to you again, what do you feel you have left to explore or learn from somebody as expert as you in your subject on the courses?
Well, I wish I was expert. I think people that are very expert,
He's expert.
people that are very expert don't even think about what they're doing. They just simply do it without thinking. They're not necessarily the best teachers because they don't know why they're doing it. Which is why I think I have a slight advantage because my training wasn't in art. My training at college was in science and mathematics, which gave me more of an analytical approach, which is the approach I took to teaching the dressing. And yes, if I reach the level of
Siddha.
Yeah.
Brahma Jyoti.
Exactly.
Brahma Bhuta.
Then I could know exactly what I'm doing rather than theoretically knowing.
Thank you very much for that, Prabhu. I do remember one time, it was the only class I had ever happened to attend from you, and you had drawn a little truck on the whiteboard. I'll never forget that class because probably the only time we had contact. You drew a little truck on the board and you said, "Oh, how do we make movement?" I don't know. What a question to ask. I just wanted to start putting the jewels on the turbans or whatever, I said,
Put some gas in the tank.
You're like, make movement. I said, what does that mean? It's a picture on a whiteboard, Movement. And I was thinking about it and I don't know. And he drew 3 lines at the back of the truck. And the truck was moving.
Oh,
then it's not a skill I have.
That makes me a bad teacher then.
No, I'm just a bad student. It's all that pleating.
There's no such thing as a bad student.
It's so delicate, everything falls apart. So yeah, I'll just Manasika Seva from now on. I will end off with one final question to you, Prabhu. For those in the audience who are looking at our show and are interested in Mayapur Academy, and especially if we just touched a little bit lightly on your course, what's a turban or dressmaking or dressing tip that you can give to our audience that they can take back into their day-to-day lives without having had all of that experience, the wealth of experience that you have? What's a little tip that you can give Krishna's and Radharani forms in their homes?
A single tip?
A single tip just to cue them in. What would you say is like a really important tip that everyone should have in their pocket when they dress their deities?
Well, I think the most important tip is not to stick pins into Krishna.
Ooh.
So, it doesn't matter, ultimately, it doesn't matter what the turban looks like. The turban could look fabulous, but if you've stuck pins into Krishna's head, and that doesn't matter. Better to have just a simple crown.
Before I got onto teaching, I was kind of co-administrating Mayapur Academy. For teaching, I teach jewelry making and Tulsi care and worship.
That's interesting. I'm fascinated. I feel like I want to go take the course right now. But please, go ahead, Mata. Go ahead.
What do you want to know about it?
Well, I guess, first off, how long have you been doing this teaching seva for at Mayapur Academy?
Well, I've been teaching for past 3 years.
Okay.
Before that, I was assisting Mataji in teaching.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow, that's wonderful. And
Mataji in teaching.
okay.
Yeah.
Wow, that's wonderful. And how did jewelry making and Tulsi Seva come about? Is that did you start off with that, or was it something developed that you brought in?
Jewelry making I have been doing for past 15 to 20 years.
Wow.
I was just not teaching it. And then when I joined Mayapur Academy, that was the first time that I realized that there could be a formal teaching for something like jewelry making, and which I learned from Anandina Mataji. And yeah, I took over from that, and it is very fulfilling experience because unlike a lot of artistic subjects, jewelry making is something which a person who's not artistic can also learn, because it is more about logical and mathematical steps to it.
Interesting. I
It's
feel
the
you guys would get
structures.
along on that point, Guru Prabhu and yourself. What does that mean? So, if I can just ask a very basic question, what is jewelry making as the course there? Like, do you get silver and gold and then just make it, or wire work, or what is that?
And it's simply just making jewelry with beads and thread.
Okay.
So-
necklaces.
Necklaces or
Earrings.
chokers, different structures can be
Okay.
made very beautifully with beads. Actually, I mean, it'll be really surprising the sort of things that
Wait
we
a
can
minute.
make.
Wait a
with
minute.
just
I'm shocked
beads.
here. I'm shocked. There's no rubies, no emeralds, no diamonds.
You could use
Where's
it.
the gold and the silver?
Actually, we can't use real gold and silver on the deities here.
We
then
wish
we'll be
we
like,
could.
I thought that that was a thing, right? Like you're not allowed to use silver and gold on deities because of thieves, or is it an actual Vedic thing?
No, it's thieves.
It's thieves. It's thieves.
Yes.
Oh.
We try to use the best materials though, like
Okay.
we get crystals and glass beads and wooden beads. They're all different kind of beads. And
Okay.
they're these very beautiful Japanese gold and silver beads which really shine
Wow.
and are long lasting. So we can use all that. And also this course goes hand in hand with the dressmaking, because the jewelry that they make are then used during the dressmaking unit.
For
And
pairing.
then for pairing.
I see.
So then they learn to make jewelry, and then they learn how to dress them with those jewelry.
Jewelry is offered to the deities and given, or people get to take them back to their own home for their own deities. How does that work?
They're generally kept in Mayapur Academy.
Okay.
We provide them all the materials, the beads,
Okay.
and everything.
And they just learn.
They learn how to do it. They leave it at the academy. Actually, it's very interesting that earlier, before I started teaching, I thought jewelry making was something only Matajis would like to do. But
I would
it
do
was-
that in a heartbeat. I would do that in a heartbeat.
Yeah, I
And a lot of
surprised
my
when I started
generation would
teaching.
too. You know, like I think it's just opening up the scale. Everyone wants to try everything, want to learn everything. They
Yes.
want to like get into it. Like it's really cool. Like I remember doing one of the courses with Rasheshwari Mataji. She was doing with a cooking course at that point with the Mayapur Academy. That was so fun. So many people wanted to learn how to cook for their deities, and usually it can be seen as a very feminine sort of. This is for Matajis, but it's just too much fun learning about a new subject. To be like, sorry, I would do jewelry in a heartbeat.
Yeah,
That's very
exactly.
interesting. Any reflections on your teaching as a jewelry teacher? Anything to share?
What I really realized is
What do you look out for? What do you as a person, or what would you advise your students to look out for?
the first thing that we look out for obviously is the outfit that is going
Okay.
to go on, the colors that are there in the outfit. So we try to match or contrast that colors. Like if the outfit is completely pink, then you don't want to have a pink jewelry that just merges with their outfit. You want something that will probably contrast. If there's a bit of silver in the outfit or gold in the outfit, you try to get that out, or some white, So it just contrasts. Color scheme is something that is taught throughout our course in dressmaking or in DT dressing. So that color scheme has to come best of the materials, because you'll be making that jewelry for 4 to 5 hours, maybe one little necklace, and you don't want it to get spoiled in a day or two. You want it to last for a long time. So then you ensure that you get the best of the materials, the best crystals or the best
Krishna
gold
must have
beads.
the best.
Yeah, and it doesn't wear off, because a lot of times what happens is some of the beads, they chip off, the colors chip off and the paint chip off, or they look too plasticky. And
Yes.
I feel the whole darshan of the deity is then spoiled if you don't have each and everything perfectly placed. So
Because it is Krishna.
it is Krishna. We want to do it for the pleasure of Krishna.
That's interesting you bring up this point. I will question to you and Kurma Prabhu. Both can weigh in on this point because I've seen a lot of what is your input on people who definitely out of devotion they put everything on their deity, all the love. The red, the green, the blue, the yellow, the pink, the soft, the velvet, the cotton, the silk, the jewelry, the pink, the gold, the silver, the lights of red. Krishna looks like he's got all the love in the world. And from the versus this mindset where we're learning how to bring colors tastefully and we have to restrict and we need to pair the pinks with the reds and the blues with the purples. I mean, I don't know what I'm talking about. But, you know, what is your opinion on giving Krishna everything and also not giving him everything so he also looks...
Doesn't look like a clown.
Yeah, you know, but like...
About the dressing of any particular deity, I don't give opinions because it's, you know, Krishna's...
Very personal.
Krishna has given that pujari the opportunity to dress for a reason. And this is the problem actually when you're teaching art theory in the course. People come a little bit more critical minded. And then when they come and take darshan and say, oh, but that's not right and this is not right. And I tell them, look, you have to have a switch in your head. Switch off, okay, and take darshan of the deities. Because if you become too critical, you may make offense.
Exactly.
There's the whole story of Jagannath and the starched cloth, you know.
Oh, I don't know that story, if you wouldn't mind.
Maybe you can give the story. Or maybe, no, you should give the story. Yeah, you can. Please,
Okay,
please
well,
give
you
the
must.
story of the
You
starched
must.
cloth. It's a nice story.
Yeah, there is a like the injunction like one should not give starch clothes to Krishna, and like there are certain injunctions.
What does
out
that
there.
mean? Like freshly new cloth, it should be washed and given?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. Like starch is like considered what? This is like dirty.
Oh,
You see,
really?
yeah. I mean, starch is good for people like because that it gives a good crease.
Good crease.
But yeah,
But for Krishna,
like that's for yeah.
he
In
wants
any
his
case,
flow.
for Krishna, yeah. In any case, we use like much more like like more fascinating clothes like silk or which are more costly. So starch is something for cotton, it's like very rudimentary kind of thing. So then you use that kind of thing, and then somebody not the thread inside the
Yeah.
garland. It's just like like really nitpicking on that. And somebody, one of the pujaris, he refused to wear that, like offered that to Krishna. And then he came at night in his dreams. It's like, how come like that poor girl, she brought that garland.
Where's my garland?
Where's my that garland? Yeah,
Jagannath
I'm
is
looking
there.
for that
Where's
love.
my
Not,
garland?
I'm like, yeah. See, there is love, and within love there are rules. But when you're trying to find like rules of love, so that's like
It's a little bit of a balance.
yeah. So like it's not the other way around. There is Krishna consciousness, and there are rules within Krishna consciousness.
I don't want to belabor the point too much because I want to move on with our questions, but I found that quite a valuable lesson. What would you say to the audience?
Well, if I can say,
Sure.
that's why we have this school. We don't practice on Krishna, we practice on models.
Okay.
So when they come here, they get the knowledge, the necessary knowledge, skills, and to make jewelry or how to dress or how to make how to worship them. So any mistakes or whatever encouragement they need, the school is there to kind of foster them in that respective area. And when they pass out from here, so they have that necessary, like you mentioned about the movement thing, which is still there intact in your mind years later, that why that was necessary. So the same, like when they go through a course where they have practiced over the models and got the feedback from the teachers and worked with their peers, so that gives them environment and a very encouraging circumstance where they learn, and then they're able to implement that in their service, and it enhances in their devotional life.
And that's the begin, and then they take it more personally
Yeah.
when they go home. Thank you, Mata.
Yeah.
Thank you. Mataji, I remember that you said you also do Tulsi care. I will come back around to your experience in Tulsi care. I have an interesting question for you, but for now, thank you so much for your experience in sharing about jewelry making in the course. We'll come back around. I believe, if I've understood my brief correctly, one of the courses that you teach at Mayapur Academy is Brahminical ethics.